Hi Ravi, good morning.
Very good morning.
Hi Ravi, good morning.
Very good morning. What about others? Vivek? Pratishna?
Yes, Ravi, actually Pratishna, she's having exam.
What she has?
Exams.
Absent.
Pratishna is having exams.
Exams.
Yes, yes. So that's the reason she cannot connect every day. And Vinay, he will be connecting in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Very good morning, Ravi.
Hi. All right, so we'll be starting up with the charts and all activities. So what chart should be suitable for what purposes, we should know it. Now, again, depends on the number of data points the chart differentiate. So there are certain factors based on which a chart need to be done. It can be comparison. It can be composition, or it can be relationship.
Ravi?
Yeah, I'm there. So depending on how many data points, so whether 1, 2, 3 or more than 3. So if you have, now what do you mean by data points here? So these are 2 data points, Jan, Feb. So here we have 4 data points, year 2018 to 2021. So depending on how many data points we have, we align our chart in those scenarios. So we have various types of charts like column, line, bar, pie, donut, scattered chart, bubble chart. Just an abbreviations basically. So if it is one data point, either column, line, bar, pie, donut. And if it is more than 3, best is line chart. Coming to composition, here we have pie and donut. And under relationship, we have scatter for 2 data points and bubbles for 3 data points. Now, what comparison means? Here we are trying to compare how 66 is behaving. So each year is behaving in front of other. And so how various years are comparing, how within the product itself, like how people are performing. So like these are the number of targets been achieved by the respective people in under respective year. Now similarly, if I need to find out how many now coming to the composition means like if you need to, let's say, make a tea, what are the ingredients required to make a tea? So you need water, milk, sugar, and tea powder. So if you need to make a 1 cup, how much they are required? So let's say this is required in 50% of quantity, 30%, 10%, and 10%. So total add up to. So when something which adds up to 100%, something adds up to 100%, we call it as composition. So under this, we have a pie and a donut charts to fit into. Now we have only one data point. So let's say these are the number of targets being achieved by the respective people in some set of years. Now, when we have single data point, we can go for any of the respective chart. So any of the respective chart which is specified. Now, anyhow, I just want to see how each person is performing in front of others. We can simply go for, in this scenario is, select the data that you want to analyze, go to insert, and the very first option in the chart section is the column chart. Now, let's try to understand the various components of the chart. So in this, you have the bigger rectangle that you can see is known as chart area. There is inner rectangle that is known as plot area. This is your vertical axis, horizontal axis. These are the grid lines, chart title, data points, and horizontal axis, vertical axis. Sometimes you see the values on each bar. Those are known as data labels. By clicking on this plus symbol, you will be able to enable it. See, I can easily see the values onto them. Now, let's say you have created this chart accidentally, but I want it to be created into pie or a donut. Now, how we can do that? So go to the chart design option, change chart type, and we can easily convert into pie or a donut according to our situation. So you can see how it is appearing. You can change your color as per your requirement. If you don't want something, we can always delete them. But it is very difficult for me to understand which one is what. Which one is Gadget, which one is Solansky, which is Roth, which is Steen. One way is if you enable the legends, you'll be able to see them. But if you don't have a legends, how to get those values? What you can do is you can just simply click on these numbers which are written inside, format data labels, and can convert, get one more feature, that is category names. So once you enable the category name, you can even see the names appearing in this. You can just always change the font type, font color according to the scenario. And if you want to show them in the form of percentages, like how much the percentage of they are contributing, you can always enable the percentage option. And if you don't want the values, you can always disable it. So this is saying it like out of the overall business, Solansky is contributing almost like 1/4 of the business. Rest are contributing in smaller proportions. Yes, this one is okay with everyone. So just get this data, right? This random data, and try to make this kind of a chart. These two options. Do it fast, please. Just try it once quickly. Then I'll move to the next. Are you done? Once you're done, just let me know.
No, Ravi, we are trying. Ravi,
Yes.
yeah, we are done with it.
Okay. All right. So this is only one data point. So this is as good as your composition also, because it's when you see over here, this add up to all these numbers add up to 100%. So single data point when you have, you can go for any of the respective chart. You can go for composition or comparison. What if you have two? So when we have two, you can easily go for either column, line, bar, anything out of it. So if you do this, you can see that how each of the respective years are behaving with the respective. So like side by side, you want to compare the performance for the each year, you can actually accumulate this kind of a chart. You could have easily could have a different version of chart that is a line chart for this. So you can go for a column or a line depending on the number of data points. Again, sometimes you may have only two data points, but both are of different natures. Maybe how many targets been achieved and how much money been made, value conversion basically. Okay, so for this kind of a data, let's say I have this. So these are the number of targets, and this is the value conversion basically. Now, if I want to do a chart for this kind of a data, now this is I have created a kind of a column chart for this. Here, one entity represents the target, one entity represents the value. But only the value is visible, the orange is visible, the blue colored is not visible anyhow. The reason being, these numerically these values are too small in comparison with this. So you can't keep them in same scale because one entity represents maybe the number of units or how many people, or this means this is in rupees. So both are of different nature. You can't have a clear-cut thing in this. So when we have things which are of similar nature only, that time only we create the above set of charts. But when we have this kind of a scenario, we don't go for this. We go for a next level of chart, that is combo chart. Here one entity is represented as column and one entity is represented as line. But still it is not clear. So one axis you need for quantity or number of targets, and the one for the value purposes. So I'll make one of them as secondary axis. So this is your target and these are your values. So here it has been achieved as 60 as a target, and value conversion also is specified next to it. So 60 is almost like more than 3 lakhs. And here also you can see. Now once done to okay. So when you have two different entities, even though the data points are two, but they are of opposite different natures. For different natures, we go for combo chart. So select the chart, chart design, change chart type, choose combo, and make one of the entity as secondary axis. So you have primary axis, secondary axis. Now we have too many data points here. So let's say this represents my Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And if I add them all, this will be my overall numbers basically. Now I don't want to represent my data in this manner. Like I could have easily, since the number of data points are more than 3, possibly anybody would have asked me to go for line chart in this. And that's not doesn't account for anything in this. It's just giving you comparison like how each quarter is performed for your respective individual. So who did more? Which quarter did better in for the individual in respective quarters? So here Q3 was better for the gadget, and likewise you have for various other. But doesn't give you much of information in this, because all of these add up to my whole year business. So what I can possibly do is, in those scenarios, I can go for a column, and there is another type of chart which is known as stacked column. Now what does it mean is, my overall business, when I add up all these numbers for this person, becomes 262. You can see my overall business is 262, and each is contributing towards their respective. So sometimes you are getting more business in a certain set of quarters. So each color is represented as one quarter basically. So, and this will totally account for my overall business in the whole year. So 150 was the overall sales, and done by the carry, and he did more in quarter 3. Likewise, he did better in quarter 2. This guy did better in quarter 3 and quarter 1. So this is a stacked chart. Okay. Try these 2 options. The one which we did here, that is a combo chart, and this stacked. Try these 2 options. The data is there. The stacked column is available as insert. In the column itself, you have second option as stacked column. Now there is a brother of stacked column, that is 100% stack. Now the difference between that one is, it will show as 100% of the business, out of which each quarter is contributing towards what percentages basically. So you can see that almost like 25% is coming from the first quarter, and this is almost like 30+% for the third quarter. Almost like 50% business is coming from the third quarter, like that you can see. So here it will, all the bars will be of same length, but they will come as a percentage size. So this is 100% stack.
Ravi,
Yes.
if you don't mind, could you explain this chart again?
Stack again.
Yeah.
Select the
Only
data.
person start calling. Yeah.
So select the whole data, go to insert, and in the column you have second option is stacked, and third option is 100% stacked. So first chart that you can see here is stacked, and the next option is 100% stacked. Now what it is showing you, this is showing you, like if I just add up what is the total business, I have 262 as overall business. So you can see that my each quarter as a whole contributed 262, but individually how much they are contributing respective to each quarter is also shown. Bifurcation basically. When you want to show your contribution in bifurcation basis, that time we make use of stacked column. And 100% will show you in the form of percentage wise contribution. So select the data, columns, and a stacked column, and 100% stacked column. Okay.
Yes, Ravi, we got it.
All right, so next one. So in this, here it is a comparison of different years. So when you're doing comparison, this is almost like kind of a composition unit, composition of multiple entities together. Now, in this, if you're performing a comparison, best is go for a line chart, because otherwise it would be too clumsy to get a chart of column type. Because if you do a column, then things would be too closer, and it was very difficult to identify which one is what. And doesn't make much of a sense in those scenarios. So better to go for a line with the markers. When you highlight it, line with the markers, or with just line only, and do okay. You can just see, because you'll have a lot of empty spaces in between. Anyhow, the data is just random. That's the reason you're seeing too much of fluctuations. If the data is proper, then you will see in a proper refined manner, basically. Next is a set of charts which are like for the scatter and pi. And before that, okay, I just want to represent this data by means of a chart. Now this is like a hierarchy wise chart. Within this department, uh, these are the people and this is the salary. So I just want as a overall trend as well, like to understand how the salaries are paid. So for this kind of a data, we go for, there are new charts which are introduced. These are Sunburst and Tree Map. So you can see that major portion has gone to the marketing, and out of this, Steen and Anil are taking the major share, Varun and Ramesha. So like that, Dr. B almost like 50% of the thing. The contribution, how much contribute, how much salary contribution, basically. Now this thing can also be represented in the form of a sunburst. So marketing has a major share, then comes the HR, then comes the sales. So these are like hierarchy wise chart. So under this we have tree map, and we also have scatter. So not scatter, this is sunburst. Now we have three different data points, all are of different nature. I just want to see the relationship between all of them. Now for this kind of a thing, the kind of a chart that will fit into is bubble chart. So I want to see like what are the across various quantities, how my value. So one of the entity will be x-axis, y-axis, and you will also have third component, that is the size. So for this, we have bubble chart. Now size represents the share basically. You can see that. Now if you want the values on them, we can always get this. We can go data labels. Now we can get data labels according to our choice. Oh, so values from the cell will display these values, basically the labels basically. Now I don't want to show the y values, only those things are sufficient. And where these values should appear, they should appear in the center of the thing. So you can see Vivo has the biggest market share, and so y-axis represents the value, x-axis represents the quantity, and size represents the basically the market share. So this is your bubble chart. Basically, what I'm trying to find out is what is the relationship between person's salary versus ability to purchase a car. So means better the salary, better is the perspective, like he'll purchase a costliest car. So if I want to represent this thing by means of a chart, since there are two data points, the best chart that will fit into such requirement is scattered. Now it is not giving much of an information. You can click on this plus symbol and get a kind of a trend line. Now once I click on the trend line, you can see this is going upward. So what it indicates, like better the salary, better is the purchasing power. So slope is upward. Like, so it is directly proportional basically. So salary is directly proportional to the purchasing power of a person to buy a car. So more the salary, more is the purchasing power. And the more the point which are closer to the line, it means they strictly agree to the following thing. And you can find a kind of a correlation between them, these two factors using a Correl function, correlation. So how salary is affected by the car cost. Strongly agrees, 93% scenario you're getting 93, 94%. So 94% of data points agrees to the statement as more the salary and more the purchasing power. So yes, these are the few charts which are done based on the kind of data that we basically handle. You can't do every chart as column chart, every chart as pie or donut. So they are defined as per the need and requirement. I want you to try them all. In the meantime, I'll just share this file. And tomorrow, we'll work out a dashboard corresponding to HR people. So, like, if you have something specific, you can always share the data. Otherwise, I'll do on my own findings. So that will help you in overall understanding of your nature of your business, basically. All good?
Yes, Ravi.
Great then. Okay. Fine then. So we'll meet tomorrow sharp at 11 and we'll continue the required set of other set of entities. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Reshma. All right. Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, everyone. So, see you.
Thanks, Ravi.
Yeah, see
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.